In this video, I'm going to show you how to get a $200,000 or 3 million Rand funded trading account. Hello and welcome to the Pine Street Capital YouTube channel where we talk all things trading and investing. My name is Ron and I'm the managing partner of Pine Street Capital. I've been trading for over 6 years and today we're going to be talking about how you get a large funded trading account. So if you watched my previous video on the biggest lie within the Forex trading industry, you'll remember that I spoke about how most traders try to get to the point where they're trading a big trading account by trying to continuously flip their small trading account, right? They usually have small accounts of $10, $50 or $100 and they start searching on YouTube for a secret strategy that will allow them to grow that account to $10,000 or $50,000 or whatever it is, right? And I busted that myth in the previous video. As in, that's not the way that you grow. That's not the way professional traders approach this industry. Professional traders don't approach this industry trying to turn a small $100 account into $10,000 or into $50,000, right? Professional traders focus on acquiring the skill of becoming a profitable trader. They become the asset, right? And they use that asset, which is the skill, in order to get third-party capital which they use to trade, and they don't need to take the big risks that you need to in order to flip an account continuously, right? So in the previous video I introduced you to something that I call the six-figure system, right? And the six-figure system is basically predicated on the fact that trading is a high-income skill. And as long as you have the high income skill of trading, you're in a position to add significant value to someone who has capital to invest. Say someone who has capital sitting in a bank account earning 2%, you can significantly jack up their investment returns by providing them with, say, a 10% return or a 20% return without taking too much risk. So that's what the six-figure system is predicated on. And within the six-figure system, there are 3 stages that every trader needs to go through within their development, right? And the first stage is the study stage, right? In the study stage, they study the basics of Forex trading. What is a lot? What is a pip? They get to the point whereby they learn a simple, profitable trading strategy with good risk management, right? And once they've learned that strategy, the next thing they need to move on to is the skill stage, right? So within the skill stage, they're basically trading a small trading account that they fund with their own money in order to start practicing, number 1, and number 2, to get the data that actually says that they are a profitable trader. So once that trader can trade consistently and make consistent profits on a small trading account of their own, they then move into the scale phase. The scale phase is where the magic happens. The scale phase is where they get third-party capital in order to scale their trading, right? So they essentially do exactly what they were doing on a small trading account in a large trading account. So that is the six-figure system. Now in this video we're gonna zoom in on the scale phase. So what actually happens within the scale phase is, once you're a consistently profitable trader, you then approach a third party and you show them your track record, you tell them you've got the skill of trading, and they provide you with the capital, right? Now, when I got started in trading, right, the scale phase wasn't the easiest thing ever, because in order to scale, once you had the skill, you needed all these qualifications that these firms required. You needed to have work experience in the industry. You needed to have industry connections. You needed to have sales skills in order to actually convince investors to actually invest in you, right? And you also needed the trading skill, right? So that's a lot of requirements that you actually needed in order to scale. But that was back in 2015 when I started, right? Today, it's a lot easier for anyone to scale once they've reached that point of profitability, right? And in order to scale today, the only thing you need is the trading skill. As long as you've got the skill to actually trade profitably on a consistent basis, then you're ready for scaling, and you can literally scale without having to look for all these different firms and send out a million applications to a whole bunch of different places. And it's just as easy as literally going online and finding one of these firms that provides capital to traders who can actually trade. And that's because of the emergence of the retail proprietary trading firm, right? So with traditional proprietary trading firms, they were really competitive firms whereby, if you were, say, coming straight out of university and you'd been trading within your own account, you'd probably send them your track record, as in the trades that you had taken during that period, and you'd show them how you'd performed before, and that really shows them that you've got an interest in trading, right? And you'd send them your CV, you'd send them a cover letter, and things like that. So that was how you got into a proprietary trading firm before. And once you got into the proprietary trading firm, they'd start training you on how to trade, and then you'd have to hit these daily targets. And frankly, it was a really competitive environment because everyone who was interested in trading was going to a proprietary trading firm, and it was a really competitive environment. So you'd be competing with everyone you got in with, and if you didn't make the cut, if you weren't meeting your targets, if you weren't making the firm money, then they'd cut you within a couple of months, right? But the entire landscape of the proprietary trading space has changed a lot over the years because of the emergence of the retail proprietary trading firm, right? So the typical retail proprietary trading firm usually only requires you to have the skill of trading, and you need to prove it to them in order to get the capital. So with the typical retail prop firm, what you do is you simply go onto their website and you purchase a challenge, right? So the challenge is essentially the test that you take, right? And once you pay for it, it's essentially an application fee, right? Except with this kind of application fee, you're guaranteed a chance. So once you actually pay that application fee, and this can be anywhere from about $80, that's 1,000 Rand, to all the way up to $1,500, that's about 20,000 Rand. It all depends on the size of the trading account that you're looking for, right? So if your goal is to get to, say, 6 figures, you're looking at a trading challenge that costs round about $500, $600, and that's about that's around 8 to 9,000 Rand, right? So that's what you're looking for in order to get to a 6-figure trading account. But of course, if once you purchase the challenge, you actually have to pass the test in order to get the funded account. So these tests are usually things like, well, the requirements, the industry standard of the requirements is you need to make returns of about 10% without having a drawdown of 10%. For example, if you purchase the $100,000 challenge, right? What you need to do is you need to make $10,000 out of that $100,000 without losing $10,000. And you usually need to do this within the space of 30 days for the first phase. So there are usually 2 phases. The first phase, you make a 10% return without losing 10%. And then once you pass that phase, they move you into phase 2. So in phase 2, you now have to make a 5% return. That's half the return without losing 10%, right? Pretty simple. And once you've gotten through the first phase, the second phase is a lot easier to get through because you essentially have the same drawdown, but you have to meet half the target. So once you actually pass phase 2, then they refund you the fee that you initially paid for the challenge. So this is only if you pass. If you pass, they refund you your fee, right? And you get your $500-600 back, and they give you a live account, right? And now you start trading on this live account, and when you're trading on the live account, they keep 80% of the profits. You keep 80% of the profits, and they keep 20% of the profits. These are industry standard numbers, right? So it's definitely lopsided in your favor. So say for example, you've got $100,000 account, right? And within the first month you make, say, a 10% return, right? That's a really huge return for your first month with a funded account. But say you make a 10% return, the prop firm will give you $8,000 at the end of the month, and they keep $2,000 of the profit. So 80-20 split, 80% yours, 20% theirs, right? So I'm sure you can already see how simple it is to actually scale. And if you are a profitable trader, then I've actually linked a couple of the proprietary trading firms that we work with at Pine Street Capital down below, so you can find a list of the proprietary trading firms that we suggest you go to once you're actually ready to scale, right? And these proprietary trading firms don't require any educational qualifications. They don't require any industry experience. All they need you to do is pass the test. So anyone can take them, and I'm sure you can imagine there are a huge number of traders who try to cheat the process, and they've only been trading for 2 weeks, they've only been trading for 3 months, they've only been trading for 6 months, and then they immediately jump into a challenge before the point where they're even profitable, and they lose the challenge. And of course, by losing the challenge, they lose the money that they initially paid as a fee. And these challenges are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, right? In order to get to a 100K challenge, you need to pay $500 in order to get into that test, right? So if you're say an inexperienced trader, you're not even profitable, but you think the next thing that you need in order to make money is capital, then I'm sorry, you're mistaken. Because if you can't make money with, say, your small $100 account, what more if I give you $100,000? You think because you've got more capital now you can make money from trading? No, as in you haven't even proven that you've got the skill. And by the way, I'm sure there are people who are going to be clicking on the link below who aren't profitable traders, and they're just going to blindly purchase these challenges. Good luck to you if you're one of those. But what you really need to do is you need to focus on the skill. Once you have the skill, these proprietary trading firm challenges will be a breeze. And some stats from the proprietary trading firms show that about 90% of people actually fail these challenges. It's a very simple challenge. You make 10% without losing 10%, right? If you're a profitable trader, you can do that. But 90% of people fail these challenges because 90% of the people who are attempting them are not profitable traders. They're just people who are trying to cheat the process of learning how to trade. They think that once they get the capital, everything's just going to fall into place, right? Let me tell you what's going to happen if you enter one of these challenges without actually learning how to trade properly. You're probably going to enter the challenge, right? And they give you the account. You lose the challenge, you lose your fees. That's it, right? You've gained nothing, you've learned nothing from actually taking the challenge. But let's actually talk about a more optimistic scenario whereby, you're an unprofitable trader and you take the challenge, but you actually fail. Sorry, you actually pass. You pass by luck. You take, say, some lucky trade where you put some huge lot size and then you hit the target, right? and then you maybe go into phase 2, and by some luck you essentially pass phase 2 as well, and then now you've got the funded account. Do you really think you're going to hold on to the funded account if you're not profitable? You need to be consistently profitable to hold on to that funded account and actually make money. Because if you're not a profitable trader and you're relying on luck to pass these challenges, then at the end of the day, you're just going to lose the money. So that's what I've got to say about proprietary trading firms. And by the way, the challenges that you can purchase from these firms generally range from about $10,000, so that's about 150,000 Rand, to about $200,000. That is 3 million Rand. So essentially, once you get to the point of profitability, you then purchase a challenge for $200,000, right? And then you pass the phase 1, you make the 10% return. Then you move into phase 2, you pass that phase 2, and then you get to, once you pass phase 2, then you get the account, right? And once you've got the account, there you go. You're already trading 3 million Rand. When in actual fact, what had happened prior to that, whilst you're gaining the skill, is you're trading a small $100 account and you're consistently making money. $10, $10, $10, $10 for the past 3, 6 months, 12 months, right? You'd been consistently making small gains on a small account. And that's just how you gain the skill. You gain the skill by trading your own money. You don't risk too much. You don't risk more than you can afford to lose. But at the same time, you risk enough so that it means something to you, right? So you get through the challenge, and there you are. You are a 3 million Rand funded trader after having traded $100 or $200 prior to that, right? Pretty phenomenal what you can do once you actually focus your time and attention on actually learning how to trade. So in order to get to that point, the first stage is study. You need to study the basics. You need to go through good educational content, and that will essentially teach you a simple and profitable trading strategy. And then after that, you move into the skill phase, where you actually start to trade your own. Well, there are other steps that you take prior to actually starting to trade, but you trade your own money. You trade your own money once you can consistently make money with your own money for say 3, 6, maybe even 12 months, depending on what the results actually look like with relatively low risk. Then the next stage is to scale, right? Once you're at the scale phase, then that's it. That's it, as in once you are a profitable trader, it's the simplest thing ever to get into a 6-figure trading account. So that is scaling in a nutshell. And I'd urge you to smash the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like this content. And as a thank you for watching right up to the end, I've included the most powerful training video that I've ever published right over here, and you can click on that one to watch it next. Click on it, click on it, click on it now, click on it now. Watch that powerful training, and I'll see you in the next one.